things I saw with Agile was that the team started to see that their progress was apparent. So with a waterfall method, you're chugging away for a year, but you don't know if it's actually meeting that. Are you on track? Are the right things happening? But with Scrum in this case, you've got that project momentum. People are seeing that we're biting off these chunks, we're staying on task, we're staying on track to release this software at a correct point. So that excitement keeps people motivated, keeps people moving on the project. Sales. And as I mentioned before, a salesperson can be a great person to be in your court. And let me tell you why. Sales wants a good sellable product, and they want new products to be delivered on time. So when a salesperson is told in Q2 of this year or Q4 of whatever year, we're going to have this product, that salesperson wants to start selling that product, and in many cases they do. And so they may get sales, let's say right at Q4. I want that product. But what happens when that product isn't released at that time? Let's say we slip months, years. That salesperson isn't going to get that check from the company. They're not going to get that sale. So what they're motivated by is they want good buzz in the marketplace. They want somebody saying, yes, I like that product, and I recommend it to my friends, which in turn helps them in selling that product. They want those products on time. They want to be able to say, yes, Mr. Customer, this is going to be delivered in Q4. So, what will Agile do for them? Agile will create happier customers who buy more. If you have a customer who is having problems and they're continuously having problems, they're not going to buy more software. Therefore, the salesperson has more problems. They're not going to tell other people. They're not going to recommend that product. They're going to say, don't buy that product. They don't know what they're doing. They constantly have bugs. So that leads into a higher quality product. You want to give the salespeople the tools you want to give them the momentum to actually go out and sell. You want them to be able to sell well. And you want them to be able to say, this is going to be delivered on time. Agile will allow you to do that because you will have those set iterations. So in my case, when I implemented Agile at that company, the salespeople were having a lot of difficulty with customers. The customers were telling them the software isn't as good as it could be. I have problems, and I report those problems, and it takes months to get a response. And that isn't what you want. You want to be able to turn around software much faster. You want to be able to deliver on time. So in the case of that company, after I implemented Agile, we started turning it around. So there was one product, or a feature of a product, which took 9 months to do. But the problem was it had been written in 2 months. So there was that lag time of 7 months of actually getting that product out to a customer's hands. And that was just, it should have never been done that way. So when I took over and started putting Agile in place, that was one of the big changes I did. We're going to work with customers, we're going to get software out there faster. And that actually turned around. The customers became happier. We turned around that reputation of we're not getting good quality software out to, yes, we are getting good quality software out. And the customers started recommending the company again, the company's products. Agile helped turn around, and it helped those salespeople be able to sell to the customers. They could get other customers to vouch for their software. So support. This a lot of this goes into a happy customer. They want maintainability and supportability. They want to be able to say, we've identified a problem in the field. They want to be able to turn that problem over to development or work with development to solve that problem. And they want that issue to get fixed quickly. That's what they want. They want to be able to get a happy customer, to take an unhappy customer, a customer having a problem, and go from that to having a customer who's not having a problem, who's happy once more. And they want to do that in the shortest amount of time possible. So Agile will do for them, it'll create higher quality with less bugs. And it will allow faster bug fixes. And one of the big ways that you do that is via unit testing. So as I talked about before, with the salespeople, that company was starting to get a bad rap. Well, the support was just getting buried, just terribly buried by all the support calls because the development team could not get the fixes out fast enough. So what would happen is the bug that was in the existing code would keep on cropping up. And it may crop up in different ways, or in some cases, it actually messed up data on the disk. So what that meant is that the support team actually had to go in and fix that. It was a known bug, just the customers, but they had to go in and support those customers. They had to spend the time to fix the things. So, in all honesty, Agile was a very easy sell for support. When they found out we can start getting fixes out in the time of a sprint instead of months from now, that was what they wanted. They wanted quicker fixes to an issue. And they wanted higher quality software. We started putting in unit tests. Those unit tests helped keep a much more stable product out there. QA. So in general, QA wants a quick response to the bugs that they identified. But then let's say you come back and tell them, I fixed that bug a month ago. That really doesn't help them. They need to be able to verify that fix actually happened. They need to do that regression test. And one of the big problems of waterfall is that QA often doesn't get a release, doesn't get anything until the very end. And oftentimes that schedule is completely compressed because the development took longer and that product needs to be out next month. They're having to compress all their time into that month. Let's say 3 months of work compressed down to 1 month. They're not going to be able to do their job as well. So Agile will give them builds more often. So if you're doing Scrum in this case, is what I did, you would be able to give your QA person a build every 2 weeks if that's your iteration. The bugs that you identified the previous week, if you fix them, they can get that fixed much more quickly. Or if they're feeling adventurous and if you have it set up, they can pull that off the continuous integration server and test it for themselves. Those nightly builds, those help them say, did I fix this? Did the development team fix this? So you've got those continuous delivery builds that help QA keep involved on a daily basis, or depending on how you have it set up, they might take a weekly drop, or every 2 weeks. You can choose based on your company's needs how you want to do it. And one of the things that they'll enjoy release management. They are in control, or they can be put in control of what goes out the door. Did they sign off on it? Did they actually say, yes, this build should be promoted to production? So in the normal case, you have a development build, you'll have QA builds and production builds. You can have a release management software like Go, for example, that actually promotes that and actually puts it out for them. Another big thing is that if you have your continuous delivery set up correctly or set up well, you can actually do deployment automated deployments for them. The QA person can know that their environment is correct. It's correctly set up. It has the latest software because they didn't have to manually have a list this long of things to do before they start testing. They press a button and they start testing.